So as much as I'm enjoying Arc Raiders, it can be a pretty difficult game at the best of times. There are so many mistakes you can easily make, and there are so many ways to improve your gameplay by actually just negating some of these easy mistakes. And so today, I'm going to run you guys through 5 easy mistakes you should be avoiding in Arc Raiders. Now, the first one I've got here is realistically a little bit subjective because it almost comes down to each individual raid and the people that you are getting put into lobbies with. But one mistake I think a lot of people are probably going to make in this game, which I was definitely making early on, is not trusting the other players out in the world. Now, there is obviously a balance to this. Don't just blindly trust enemies that are out there, because there's going to be some bad people that will just kill you on the spot, and that is understandable. And in fairness, generally speaking, when I see an enemy, I am there to try and kill them, because for the most part, I generally don't trust people in these sorts of games. But blindly not trusting people is also a mistake in my opinion. I've had some great interactions with players where I've pretty much extracted only because I was playing in a team. There's been a few raids now where I can hear someone around me and I just use the ping wheel to actually say don't shoot, and I will gauge what they say. If they say yes, or they also reply with don't shoot, I'll usually go up to them and just be very, very careful, obviously, but you can generally sort of tell if someone is being a little bit sketchy or if they are completely open to being friendly. So that is kind of my first tip, is don't just blindly not trust people. Don't just go into every game and treat every single player like an enemy. If someone shows signs of being friendly, put a certain level of trust in them. Obviously, always pay attention. If they're doing sketchy stuff, then be sure to be on edge about it. Always have your weapon equipped and stuff like that, and don't let them lead you into like traps or anything. But there have been some really, really great interactions that I've had, and honestly, I think a lot of you guys will enjoy your playtime a little bit more if you just be a little bit more open to trusting people. Don't get me wrong, it will no doubt at some point lead to a betrayal. That is going to happen. Someone will present themselves as friendly and then they will just kill you right at the end. That will happen, but that sort of shit happens if you're not trusting people as well. So yeah, there is a balance to it, like I said, but give it a try every now and then. It honestly makes the game very, very fun. Now, the next mistake that I've definitely made myself a few times is kind of just like sprinting to the elevator and trying to extract even if there are enemies nearby. This isn't the way to do it. You want to definitely be playing strategically. If you just run out in the open, you might think, oh, I can just avoid all the damage I need to and get in there. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you will be able to get into the elevator, but more often than not when I've done this, I have found myself just dying right before I extract, and it is so frustrating when that keeps happening. The way to do this is to either A, bring a lot of smokes along with you, because the smokes will really interrupt the arc units. They can still obviously damage you through it, but generally it will break their line of sight, and it's not like they just have aimbot through the smoke. They will generally miss a lot more shots. This also comes down to real players as well. If there are real enemies nearby trying to sort of camp the extraction, well, the smoke will break their line of sight as well. So make the most of smokes first and foremost. Secondly, don't just open the elevator and then as soon as it opens, run in. Unless you are absolutely under the pump, it is generally going to be better to actually just like sit there for 20 to 30 seconds and just watch the elevator, see what happens, see if anyone else tries to run in. If you go first, well, any enemies nearby are going to see you and you're an easy target, as well as for the arc units, they're going to go for you straight away. But if you sit there and wait, well, someone might see no movement and they go, oh, this is free. I'm just going to run out and try and extract, because maybe the person who called the elevator got killed and I can just go and steal the extraction. And you're going to see them actually make a run for it, at which point, A, if you're like me and you enjoy getting kills, you can kill them at the extraction if you want to be a dog. Let's be honest, I do it, but it is a bit of a dog act. But at the same time, you can actually let them begin the extraction and then they can be, doing that while you're running on, and it actually saves you a bit of time. And lastly, like I said, any of the arc units in the area, they will target that player first, putting all the pressure on them to get in there, and generally then you can almost like try and sneak on. And so to me, that is the best way to try and extract. Don't go straight away. Call the elevator. Once it arrives, just let it sit there for a little bit. I think it takes 90 seconds to actually just automatically extract. Play it slow, see what happens, and then obviously, like I said, with the smokes, pop some smokes, run in there, and that is going to be a much more effective way of extracting than simply just sprinting for it straight away, which more often than not will result in a death. Now, just quickly for those interested in making the grind a little bit easier in Arc Raiders, MitchCactus.com has you covered, as they'll actually handle everything you want from leveling, upgrades, and crafting while you're out at work or at school. With over 20,000 verified Trustpilot reviews, all of their packages are completely safe and legitimate. It's all handled manually in-game, so there's no hacking or glitching involved, and they provide these services across Xbox, PlayStation, and PC with a 100% money-back guarantee. Head on over to MitchCactus.com using the link in the description and use the code SAMMY for 5% off for a limited time only. Now, the next tip that I've got is a very common mistake, and this is something that I've done a lot until I learned this the hard way. If you go down, especially right near the extraction point, don't waste time when you're down. Don't just give up and go, damn, I'm down, I'm gonna die, and just drop the controller or whatever. When you're down, it is still absolutely worth trying to extract and doing every single thing that you can in order to get out of there. I had one raid where, and I mentioned this in my previous video, I went down and I didn't realize that I could actually call the elevator back. In a night raid, there are multiple ways to extract. And so I just kind of sat there for a bit, wasting time. And as you can see in this clip here, I would have been able to extract, but unfortunately I wasted so much time that by the time the elevator actually got to the top, I died and it was a failed extraction. That would not have happened if I actually just went and did this straight away. So yeah, if you go down, do not give up straight away. There is plenty of different ways that you can extract. Sometimes a friendly will come along and actually revive you as well. You can still use the emote wheel as well to say, hey, don't shoot, or do you want to team up? And if there are friendlies nearby, they will sometimes come and help you. So be sure to keep that in mind. I've definitely learned that the hard way, unfortunately. But realistically, the game is not over until you are absolutely dead. Now, the next mistake I see a lot of people making when I'm watching streams and stuff like that is just taking way too much stuff with you on your raids. Realistically, in this game, you are more likely to die than not, unless you are playing it super safe, in which case you're generally not going to bring that much loot back anyway. And so prepare accordingly. If you know that you're more likely to die than not, don't just bring all of your good shit with you. Ration everything out. Don't bring all your ammo, don't bring all of your best weapons. Maybe bring one of your best weapons and then a shitty little backup weapon. Maybe bring half your ammo and half your bandages rather than simply bringing all of it, because if you die and you've brought all your good shit with you, well, that shit is permanently gone and you are never getting it back. So there is a balancing act to it. Obviously, you don't want to do the other way and bring nothing with you, because then again, you are more likely to die. But like I said, it's a balancing act. You got to find what works for you. And realistically, even if you are really good and you're pretty confident you're going to be able to get back through an extraction, it isn't worth risking every single one of your best items. Prepare accordingly and try to ration all of your stuff so that even if things go south, you still have plenty of good loot when you get back to Speranza. Now, last but definitely not least, we've got something that I know I was doing wrong initially, and this is neglecting the different workstations that you can make at your home base in Speranza. Now, initially I thought it would take quite a while to unlock all of these, so I wasn't really paying too much attention to them. I think I made the medical lab pretty early, but that was about it. I didn't really pay attention to the other upgrade stations, but they're pretty damn easy to unlock, and they will give you some really good upgrades, stuff that you pretty much can't get without actually having these stations. For example, you can make attachments for your weapons, you can make better shields and better items to bring along with you. And for the first probably 15 raids of my playtime, I didn't really create any of these other than, like I said, the medical lab, and therefore I kind of wasted a lot of time that I could have been bringing a lot better items into my raids. So check out these stations very early on. They're all pretty damn useful, and realistically you should be trying to build all of these as soon as you possibly can, because they are all absolute game changers when it comes to creating stuff to use on your journey. But that is it for some of the easiest mistakes you should be avoiding in Arc Raiders, guys. If there's anything you think I missed, be sure to leave a comment down below. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.